What's going on, Dolphins fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here making this video today. It is going to be a Dolphins related video, but it is going to be focused around the current pandemic that is ravaging the world, the coronavirus, and we are starting to see in the numbers that it is really starting to strike America hard. And I unfortunately expect it to get far worse. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about it in a couple aspects. First, I want to talk about it in the broad terms, about the severity of it. I want to, wish people well, all that kind of stuff. And then I will relate it to the Dolphins and the upcoming season and how it will, at this point, how it will likely affect this upcoming season. Not just potentially, but will likely affect this upcoming season. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is first I want to tell everybody that I wish you all well. I hope everybody stays safe. Make sure you stay home. Do not go out unless it is absolutely necessary. Of course, that means for emergencies, but also for things like groceries, and just the necessities. Obviously stock up so you don't have to go out very often. Get only the things that you need. Only go out for the things that you need, and just stay in. It's imperative. If you do go out, make sure that you wear masks and gloves. Make sure you wash your hands. You carry pocket hand sanitizer with you, all those kinds of things, because it's massively important. The numbers are getting scary in the country right now, and I'm actually going to get to some of those numbers in a minute, just to show you how bad it really is. But also I want to say to anybody out there that is considered essential personnel, anybody working at hospitals, doctors, nurses, anybody who's working at grocery stores to help get people the food and stuff they need, or people delivering it to people's houses and stuff. I want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody who's out there doing that. It is a service because this is very serious, deadly stuff, and those people are putting their lives on the line to provide services to the rest of us. So thank you, and stay safe. Obviously, you guys also should be wearing gloves and masks. Make sure that you are constantly washing your hands or using hand sanitizer, all of those things. If you work in, grocery stores or what have you, or restaurants that are doing delivery or takeout only, then also, of course, make sure you're cleaning surfaces. It can survive on surfaces for a couple weeks at least, from all the reports and stuff that I've seen. So make sure that you guys are staying safe. Absolutely. So now I want to just get a little bit into the severity before I talk about how this is actually going to affect the upcoming season, or how it certainly could affect the upcoming season. I want to talk a little bit about the numbers. I want to give you guys the numbers. So I have recently, the past 2 days, I mean, I've been following this, as you guys know or should know, I'm pretty big into politics, and so I do follow it closely, and it's obviously dominating the news in a lot of ways. So I've been following it since it really became a thing, but the past couple days I've been tracking it on Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Resource Center. They're tracking it, the number of cases, the number of deaths, etc., etc., etc. And so the numbers are astounding. Okay, and so I tweeted out last night some numbers, and then I tweeted out again this morning. The change in numbers is pretty astounding, but so let's get into it. I tweeted out earlier this morning at approximately 11:14 in the morning on the West Coast. So East Coast, that would be about 2:15, right? So at about 11:15 here, this is what I tweeted. I've been poring over the data from the Johns Hopkins tracker of COVID-19. At approximately 10 p.m. on March 27th, 2020, so that was yesterday, last night when I did this, there were 597,335 cases worldwide, with 27,365 deaths at a rate of 4.58118141%. So I know that's, a lot of numbers after the decimal. So real quick, now obviously there are about 7.8 billion people in the world, and obviously out of that number right now, the population that has it is obviously a small number compared to the overall population of the world. However, it is growing rapidly. But out of those 597,335 cases, there were 27,365 deaths, which is almost 4.6%. A lot of people are comparing this to the flu. There are some stark differences. One, we don't get coronavirus every year like we get the flu. Two, the flu does kill a lot of people every year, but it's about 1%, which is still, or less, which is still pretty substantial. But the reason why it's not rampant and kills more people is because we have medicines, we have techniques and things that we use to combat it. And also we've, of course, evolved over time as well to help defend against those things. But coronavirus is way different. The severity is immeasurably different. Well, not immeasurably, because we do have numbers. But so let's get into those a little bit more. So as it stands, the worldwide death rate is, as of the numbers from last night, was about 4.5%, almost 4.6%. So I continue. As of 12 hours later, so earlier this morning, and the numbers were calculated at about 10:30 in the morning, my time, West Coast. I was doing this tweet at 11:15. There weren't any more updated numbers at 11:15 than what they had from their 10:30 update. But from their 10:30 update, the Johns Hopkins tracker has worldwide cases up to 640,589 with 29,848 deaths at a rate of 4.65946,184. So that's, again, a lot of numbers after the decimal, but that was an increase from roughly 4.58 to 4.66, which that's a fatality rate increase of 0.07828,043% over those 12 hours. I know that doesn't seem like it's a lot, but that is a pretty stark change. The United States has overtaken both Italy and China in overall number of confirmed cases. The US has 112,468. Italy had 92,472. China has 81,999. The fatality rate as of the latest numbers from the Johns Hopkins is 10.83895666%, with Italy tallying 10,023 current deaths. So the death rate in Italy is 10.8%. Out of all of the people in Italy that have gotten it, 10.8% of the people have died. That's incredibly, scary. Okay, but let's continue. They have far more competent leadership in a healthcare system designed to provide quality healthcare to all. They do have universal healthcare. Right now, a lot of people are talking about how, they're swamped and Medicare for all wouldn't do anything. No, it doesn't matter. It's not what, in this case, for a second, the system doesn't matter, because any system would be overrun by the sheer volume of cases that we have. However, they are certainly more prepared and equipped to handle all of these cases than we are to start with, and people don't get outrageous bills in Italy for testing and treatment like we do here in the States. But that's 10.8%. Okay, so In America, it's business as usual to let Americans die because they lack health insurance or can't pay for something. Some experts say that by the end of this, we could see as many as 100 million cases in the US alone. So that's the upper limit of the current estimations and projected calculations, is that some experts are saying we could end up seeing 100 million cases in the US alone. At the current rate of death being approximately 4.6%, that would make the death toll in America surpass 4.6 million people. My fear is that with our broken healthcare system and our greedy leadership, we could see a death rate similar to or worse than Italy. If that were the case, America would see deaths exceeding 10.8 million people. Just think about that. 10.8 million people. Okay? And unfortunately, it's not unreasonable that we could see that. Why? Because we have governors out there like Ron DeSantis in Florida, for example, who's refusing to shut down the beaches. I saw images on Twitter of people on the beaches today, out there having a good time, chilling, fucking partying it up. And it's absolutely crazy, right? And then on top of that, our healthcare system is nowhere near prepared for it. And then of course, you know, I mean, just from top to bottom, this thing is potentially going to be like catastrophic. And unfortunately, I hope not, but the numbers could be that bad at the rate that we're going right now. It's pretty astounding. Anyway, and just real quick, so those were numbers that I gave earlier, right, at about 11:15 this morning. It is now 3:15 p.m. and as it stands, right, there are some updated numbers. So the total confirmed as of 1:53 p.m. according to Johns Hopkins, okay, up from 640,589, we now have 657,691 across the world. Italy has 92,472, the same amount that they had before. China has 81,999, the same they had before. The US earlier this morning, and these were the numbers from this morning, the US had 112,468 this morning. Right now we're sitting at 119,748. That's 7,000 additional cases, but there's no testing kits almost anywhere in the country. So we don't even know to the extent right now how bad it is. But more and more people are starting to flood in, flood into hospitals, etc., etc., etc. And my guess is that we're going to see those numbers start to skyrocket. And it's scary. It's super scary. So one more time before I transition into how this is going to affect the season, please, everybody, take this seriously and stay safe. Go home. Do not go out unless it's absolutely imperative that you leave the house, and just hunker down because this is going to go on for a while and it is going to get insanely bad. So, now that that's all done, let's talk about how this, I mean, in my view, I can't imagine it's not going to, massively hinder the season. Because, look, I mean, we're about to hit April. We're at the end of March. Okay, OTAs currently are suspended indefinitely. The entire league almost is shut down. Aside from maybe, some team facilities or whatever in states where, Republican governors refuse to shut it down, like maybe in Florida. So, whatever. Although I know, Dolphins facility seems to be pretty shut down, so they're doing the right thing, etc. And I'm imagining so are the Bucks and whatever, right? And the Jags. But I don't know, of course, because I'm not there and I don't follow them that closely. I would hope so. Anyway, point is, though, is that this thing is likely to go on for the next several months. And so if that's the case, if it goes, let's say it goes 3 months, right? That's April, May, June. That's into June. That means training camp and all of that shit would be canceled. If all of that stuff gets canceled, there's not going to be a season, or not likely to be a season at that point. And that is substantial. There is a high probability that the 2020 season will be canceled. Now, we'll have to wait and see how, these things develop, but I'd say the probability is exceptionally high. Now, there's a lot of debate over whether or not the NFL should still hold a draft. To me, as long as they can do it, and in the world that we live in with the technology and shit that we have, I don't see why they couldn't. But as long as they just keep it 100% digital, they don't have no kind of big event, which obviously they've already said they're going to cancel for sure. They're not going to have the big crowds. They've already moved it from Vegas, whatever. They're not doing it in Vegas anymore, blah, blah, blah. So, as long as they do it, again, like I've said before, Roger Goodell could sit at his fucking house and be like, okay, the Cincinnati Bengals, oh, wait, there's a trade. The Miami Dolphins traded up to the #1 spot, and then they're on the clock, well, right, whatever. And then, whoever gets picked, I mean, the players, where are they going to be fucking, it's not like they're going to be out doing anything. They're all going to be sitting at home. They can Skype in, they can whatever the fuck, right? So pull them up, get them, I'm sure they can figure out a way to get it televised, right? And there's going to be tons of people to be sitting around watching it. So to me, I don't see why there's really, I understand the perspective from GMs and, front office personnel. I totally get that from the aspect of, well, we don't get to meet with guys, and, it definitely diminishes our ability to scout, etc., etc., etc. And I get that. But at the same time, they've been scouting these guys forever. They have pretty much all the information and data they need. Call them up if you want to have a conversation with them, right? You can do that. You can't meet them in person, but you could still FaceTime them or whatever, and you could actually have an interview done that way, right? They got plenty of tape on them. It's not like they're going to be doing anything between now and the draft anyway. The combine and shit's over. At most, they might have a pro day here and there, right? Tua was supposed to have a pro day, but he put out that video of him working out and all that stuff. So, I mean, to me, it's really not, I don't really see any reason why they couldn't do it. So I would like to see them still do it. I would hope that they would still do it. But, of course, it could happen that there's no season. And if there is no season, then it could happen that if the draft goes on and the Dolphins were to do something like, let's say, trade away 3 first rounds and a second round pick to move up to the #1 spot with the Cincinnati Bengals to go get whoever, to Justin Herbert, Burrow, whatever, your younger brother, whoever it is that Stephen Ross loves, right? Well, then, unfortunately, it's a waste. It's a completely wasted season. And then so, that quarterback that you go chase after, that you give away a bunch of draft capital for, well, I mean, you at best you could say, well, he's not going to get beat up. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like he's redshirting. It's not like he's going to be in a system. He's not going to be learning. He's not going to be, adjusting to the NFL. His rookie season would effectively start the next year if there was a season the following year in 2021. So, that would be a waste. And then these contracts, especially these massively front-loaded contracts, I mean, they're not going to, I would imagine they might try, but if there's no 2020 season because of this, then, I mean, they would still theoretically, at the very least, have to pay those contracts to their players, even though they're not playing, because they are under contract for that year. And although I don't know, I've seen I saw a report that some of these teams now are putting like COVID-19 clauses into contracts, which disgusts me because, you know, anyway, it's just some fucking loophole for them to get out of having to pay the players if, God forbid, there is no season, or God forbid they fucking got it and then couldn't fucking play for the team. Like, that would just be massively disgraceful. But I wouldn't put it past some of these teams to do shit like that. So anyway, it's a fucking mess, to say the least, and it's, you know, it's a big thing. It's funny because I haven't really seen, like, obviously there's been a good amount of talk, but with as much as the NFL is really trying to push for business as usual and really keep things going on as scheduled, like, you know, I haven't really seen a lot of you know, talk or reporting in the mainstream media for sure, but not even, you know, the other YouTube creators. I haven't seen anything that I can recall of them talking about you know, the potential that this could. I think Dudley Durong might have put something out, actually, now that I think about it. I haven't watched it, but haven't seen much about this and how it could, you know, affect this upcoming season. Anyway, so that's that. That's what I got. I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my videos and perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Make sure you share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.